Hello there, it's Jay here from Jay's Vintage Junk, and today we're looking at something, well, it's vintage, but it's something a little bit different. What we've got here is, this is actually the top covering of a good friend of mine's late mother's Kenwood Chef. Now, my friend's really into her baking, and so was her mother, and obviously this is one of the things that she bequeathed her when she passed away. And a few years ago, something fell on it and basically shattered the top of it, and she was absolutely devastated. And it's probably early 1970s model, and back then she asked me whether there was any chance of me able to get a new cover for her, and I did look online, and I could find loads of scrap Kenwood Chefs going for sale, but none of the exact same model as she had, so obviously the cover was slightly different and wouldn't fit. Anyway, I'm doing some renovations for her at the moment, and I found it actually up in a wardrobe I was demolishing. It had been tucked up in a corner, obviously long forgotten about, and it got me to think. I was watching a while back one of Gadget UK's videos when he was repairing a computer case that was rather badly damaged, and he put it together and it actually looked pretty good, and I thought, well, I've got all the pieces here, so I wonder if I could do the same thing. I could actually reassemble this thing and make it usable. I mean, from a safety point of view, all this is really doing is stopping you sticking your finger between a belt drive and a gear. There's nothing electrical under here you could electrocute yourself on. You know, like I say, it's literally just stop you getting your fingers in your gears. So providing it's actually all together, I can't really see any problem with me actually being able to like glue it together. At least it means you'd have the machine and you'd be able to use it again. So that's what I thought we'd have a crack at, seeing if we can actually put this thing together. So what I thought I'd do initially is basically stick all the parts together, and then we're going to work on it from there. I am actually thinking about using like a plastic welding technique on the inside to see if I can get it strong that way. But anyway, first thing I've literally just got this out of the sink because it was all full of like kitchen grease and years of muck and dirt and everything. So basically I put it in the kitchen sink with a bit of Persil and only lukewarm water, left it for about half an hour or so, and then give it a rinse off, and all the pieces have come up like really quite clean. I mean, there's a little bit of muck on them, but they are clean. All the edges and everything are nice and clean, so we should be good good to actually do some gluing. But I've just got some loo roll, and I'm just going to go over all the pieces and make sure all the moisture's off them before we start. So it's probably a good idea really just to give them a bit of a wipe down, make sure there is no water still on them. I can see, I mean, I've given them a dry down, but I can see a few bits of water that I've obviously missed, so we'll just give it a quick wipe over and make sure. There we go, that's better. Yeah, that's got rid of all the water. Oh, and still, see, the water gets in all the little nooks and crannies, and it's going to wreak havoc with your gluing attempts. So we really do need to get rid of it all. Hopefully there's none in them cracks there. Hopefully that's all come out. Some of these could be stress cracks as well from just its age as well. It does look like it had a right hard smash there. That's what's really done this damage. We do have that one little piece there which I'm not sure where it goes. It kind of I'm not 100% sure if that's even part of it. I'll keep that little piece to one side just in case, but I'm not even sure if that's part of it. But that's all the bits clean and dry anyway. What I think we'll do first is this piece here. Although it's all together, it's got quite a, if you can see that, I don't know if you can see that on the camera, you can see it is actually split. So I think what we'll do is we'll try and repair that first, get that together, and then we'll we'll look at perhaps sticking some of the pieces actually back together. And I'm going to actually just use some super glue, just basic cheap 151 super glue. But what I will do, I won't use the applicator that comes with it. I'm just going to put that to one side. I'm just going to get, I've got one in here, yeah. Just bear with me a second, I've just got to open my toolbox. A pair of snips in here, yeah, there is. Lovely. I've got an old Q-tip there, and I'm just going to cut the end off that, like that. And these are the paper. Oops, that was my attic ladder just dropping down. Don't be alarmed. It's one of the paper types, so hopefully this will be even better. Because what I'm going to do basically is I'm going to get a piece of tape ready. Get my tape ready. I'm going to just run a little bit of super glue down in that crack, and then I'm going to tape from the other side the piece of plastic actually together like that, and hopefully we can get it to glue and stay tight together. But what I'll do is I'll dip the super glue in. I'll just see if I can get it to run into the crack like capillary action style. So let's have a go here. I'll just get a little bit on that. There we go. Get that to run into the crack. Get it to run into that crack. You've got to work fairly quick because we don't want it to start setting until we've got this set right. Right. Got some on there. And if you just open that up ever so slightly and then close it up. Hopefully we've got some super glue actually into that. We've got some super glue into that crack now. And I'll just hold it. And I'll let go. Yes, I can. That's actually. Perhaps I better put some. In fact, I'll just get me a piece of paper because that actually stuck to my. That must have run right through because it's actually stuck to my desk. Let me just put a piece of scrap paper down. That's actually glued really fast. I can scrape that off after, but it actually run all the way through, and that's better than I was expecting. Right, so that's the first piece stabilised anyway. I was expecting to have to put a piece of tape across the back of it and leave it for ages, but wow, that's actually gone off like immediately. That's quite good. Okay, oops. Right, now this one is the one that's concerning me, this crack here. I don't know if you can see. We've got multiple little hairline cracks, and this is actually slightly deformed, and it's not sticking back. I don't know if you can see that on the camera. It's not going back together very well. If you press it, it will pop back in, but as soon as you let go, so it is deformed the plastic. I'm hoping a good strong piece of tape across there. And what I think I'll do is I'll tape that down first, and then we'll try. I'll tape it down first, and then we'll try running some super glue in from the back. So I think what I'll try is some insulation tape on this because it's nice and stretchy. So I'll cut a piece of that off, and I'll start right over there. So we're right over the big main crack, and if I push it down and I stretch the tape, so the tape's got lots of tension in it, that pulls that bit in, and then I'm going to have to see if I can pull this. I don't think this is going to be perfect, but fortunately there is a black cover that goes over this when it's because that's for another attachment, which I don't actually think she's got. That has pulled that in there quite nice and tight. What I'll have to do is see if I can get this crack there to go back together as well. That one's a bit worse. That one's not going to be as easy, I don't think. So what I might do is I might run the super glue in now, and then just like I did on that last piece, just try squeezing that together with my fingers, see if I can get that to set, and if I can, then I'll run some more super glue down them two cracks there, and we'll see how that gets on. So I'll get a little bit more super glue on here, not too much, and I'll try running it down into this one, which is going to be the worst one to actually get back together, I think. Oops, too much. Right, okay, now let's see if we can get that to stick together. Let's push it back. And I'll have to hold it and see if it'll actually stick. This one isn't going to be anywhere near as easy, like I said, because it is a bit, looks like the plastic's been deformed. Because basically it was screwed down there. There's a plate that fits on the other side of that when it's in use. And that's where it was fixed down, so for all the years this has been damaged, that's actually been being pressed out of shape. Unfortunately. So we will never get this bit absolutely perfect, but at least if we can get it a lot better than it is, that'd be that would be good. Let me see if I can let go of that now. Oh, nice one. That has actually gone together. Right, now I've got that together. While I've got the tape on it, I think I'm just going to see if I can run a little bit of super glue into them cracks and see if that will just go in capillary action style like we did on the other piece. Just run that along there. So I don't know whether this is going to be the correct technique, but it wasn't usable as it was. Like I said, I've not been able to find a replacement for it, and I have been trying off and on for a few years for her, ever since she first mentioned it. Let's see if we can get some and run it like that down there. Okay, I don't think that's going to be perfect there, because I think that's, but it has actually set there. That's not bad. It's not perfect, but it's not bad. I'll just give that a minute, and then we'll look at perhaps fitting the next piece on. Then we are going to have to start using some tape, I think, to hold things together. It's like, I think we could possibly actually temp this piece next, which is the bit that's broken off from there. And sadly it does show we do have a piece missing. That's a real shame. I thought we had it all, but no, it does look like we do have a piece missing from there. I will go and have another look in the kitchen actually, just in case that piece has broken off in the sink and it's gone somewhere, and I could actually possibly glue it back. If not, we might be able to make that piece up with some epoxy or something like that. So anyway, I think I'm happy enough. I've left that long enough that I can actually touch it. That glue has run all the way through there. That's quite good. So it has, with capillary action, like I say, it has come through there. So hopefully we've got a join there that'll be okay. So let's have a look at sticking this piece back in. Like I said, sadly we will have to do a bit of remedial work there, but let's see what we can do. Next piece to glue back on. And what I'll do is I'll go around, I'll go around this piece and I'll just add a little bit. This is actually sticking back together far better than I was, and my finger stuck to the piece. Damn. Fortunately it's on the inside, so no one will see my fingerprint forever there, but never mind. Ow. Alright, let's start again. Let's get some super glue on the thing. I said we're just going to put a little bit on the edge. Be super careful we don't get it on our fingers, because it is very sticky, as you've just seen. But it does seem to stick this incredibly well. Far better than I was expecting. Like I said, I weren't expecting it to stick this quite so well as it has. Let me move the super glue out of the way, because we don't want to knock that over. And with the way it's sticking, I think I'm only going to get one chance at this. Let's see. Come on. Stick together. Well, that piece there's gone together really nicely, and that piece has gone together really nicely. Let's hold them together. That there I'm not as happy with, but I think it's a case of beggars can't be choosers when you're trying to stick something like this together that's this badly damaged. Just give it a couple of seconds, just holding it like this, because I was honestly expecting to have to use a lot of tape, but this is sticking. I don't know what plastic this is made out of. It's obviously some kind of thermosetting, not injection moulding plastic, like, you know, you can heat it up and mould it into something. It's not like a phenolic resin or anything. Right, that's stuck. That's stuck. So I'm not too happy with that. It's left a little bit of a mark along there, but considering what I started with, that's not too bad. That's stuck together anyway. So that's not perfect, but it's still not, it's not terrible. It's a lot better than what we had. Right, let's get on to the next piece then. Where's that piece from? I think that's that piece. That's that piece there. I think that might be the last piece we end up putting in, actually. So that means we're on to this big piece here, which is the piece that we repaired first, and that fits in like that, I think. We can get them two pieces to line up quite nicely. I think that's what we'll do, is we'll get them. I think we're going to have to glue this piece in stages. I wonder if that would have been a better idea. Then again, that's not gone on too badly. But what I think I'm going to do is I'll apply some super glue to that edge there, and I will glue them two in place. Simply because these are the bits that people are going to see. So if I get them as good as I can, I'll get them to stick, and then we'll perhaps tape it together, and we'll flow some super glue in from the back and get the rest of the pieces to stick together. So let's get the super glue back out. And we're just going to go along that edge there with the super glue just to start with. Not too much. We don't want too much on. Just put a little bit along there like that, because that's where we're going to start sticking it. Right, get that out of the way, and let's have a go at getting these two to stick together nice and true, well, as best we can. That's it, that's perfect. Let me just hold this and hold my breath until these just stick together, because obviously this won't be a strong bond. But we'll work on sticking the rest together, and then we'll get the bond good and strong. Right, another couple of seconds I think, and we should be able to let go. There we go. Right, so that's actually not bad at all. That really is not bad at all. Let's just tip very, very gently, obviously, because we've not got it really glued together properly. But hopefully we can get them two to... That's not bad. That really isn't too bad. Right, I'll get a little bit more super glue. Let's get a little bit on that edge there. We'll try getting them two to glue together. Then, like I said, we'll try running it in from the back once we can. Oops, there we are. Hold that like that for a second. hopefully we can get them to stick together like we did the other side. And we have got a little bit of seepage on this, so we can wipe that off as soon as this is actually stuck. I'll get a little bit of that toilet paper and I'll just wipe the excess off the top. I'm not too worried about the external appearance because I have got in mind I might respray it over with like a cream paint just to make it look really, to match in with the rest of the machine, because the rest of the machine's cream but this is yellowed, the plastic's just yellowed over age. And no, I'm not going to try and retro bright it after I've had to do all this to it. It will surely just fall apart. Right, let's try letting go. That's held together. So let's wipe off that excess glue from there. And what I think I'll do is I'll put a little piece of tape along, just strapping that like that. Then we'll turn it over and we'll try and run some more glue down into that crack from the other side. So I'll take a piece of insulation tape, stick that on there, just again a bit of tension on it, stick it down like that. And that should just pull them two pieces together. We've still got, basically the crack runs all the way down and then around to here, so we've still got to deal with that yet. Again, it's not perfect, but it's not bad at all actually. It's better than I was expecting from gluing it anyway. In fact, if I push, I might just put another strip across there as well. So the real advantage of using insulation tape for this is it's got a nice stretch to it, so you can stretch it then stick it down, and the elasticity of the tape actually helps. It'll actually pull the joints together. Right, and we've still got a gap, so we're still going to have some capillary action actually happening. Let's spin it over and we'll start running some super glue down into these cracks and see what we can get to happen. Right. So we'll start here, I think. We'll just start running some super glue. And we're literally trying to get it to wick down into these cracks. I've stuck my fingers together again. I'll just push that down because it is slightly out of alignment, and hopefully if I do that while I run some super glue in, when I let go it won't run back up. Right, there we go. And we'll carry on going along. In fact, what I'll do, I'm going to let go there, I'm going to move my fingers along and I'm going to push down here as well because that was slightly raised. And again, I'll just, capillary action, just keep dripping the super glue in. There we go. I can see where that's where I got up to last time with the sticking. So I suppose what I've got to do now is follow this crack here, get some in there, and just follow that crack along. And that's literally all we're doing, is just following the cracks and allowing the super glue to seep in. Right, I think I can let go of that now. Right, there we go. That's that piece done. So we've only got really this one piece to stick back on. Let's turn this back round. Right, cool. That's actually gone a lot better than I was expecting. Let's have a look at this final piece we've got to stick back together. So that comes out from there. Let's see if it'll. See that crack down this. I'll just that there fits together really nicely. That's not too bad. But that bit at the front's a bit. But then again, there's another cover that actually covers that, so that's not going to be a problem. You're not going to really see that. And this is actually going quite nicely. Right, final piece then. Again, I will put some super glue on it. In fact, because we've just got this one piece and it's not too big, I will go all around it and we'll try and stick it back together in one piece. I think we'll actually get away with that, because it's not like that really big piece with the multiple cracks in it. That was a bit of a... We've got it along there, along that, oh, and along that edge there. I knew there was another edge. I knew there was 3 edges needed coating. Okay, there we go. Right. Let me stick this last piece back in. That's it. The front crack I'm not as worried about as this crack here, because this is the one that will be visible. So let's there we go. Push that together. Hold that. There we are. And I'll hold that for a second. Keep holding it. Right. Right, let's let go of that now. Right, there we go. That seems to have set quite nicely. Just stuck it to the paper there. Oh no, fortunately it was just that that tape there that had stuck. Okay. So that crack at the front there is not perfect. I think I'm going to just run some more super glue into that. But that is covered by another piece of plastic when it's actually in the machine. So like I said, that's one I'm not as worried about anyway, because that won't be visible. But we do still need to make sure it's nice and strong. So we'll don't know if you can see what I'm doing. I'm doing exactly what I did before. I'm just running a little bit more super glue into that crack from the rear. There we go. Lovely. Right, let's get rid of the super glue for now. Now I was initially actually thinking about using like I said, like I was watching Gadget do. I was initially thinking about using a soldering iron and melting the inside of here to reinforce it. Actually do like a plastic weld on it, but that stuck together so well actually. Because I mean, this thing isn't going to have a lot of strain or stress on it. It is literally just a plastic cover on the top. I'm wondering whether I get away with just using some epoxy and just reinforcing them on the inside with some epoxy instead. My concern about using the soldering iron to melt this now is I've just used super glue to stick all that together. And the problem with super glue is it's cryoacrylate. When you heat cryoacrylate glue up to a certain temperature, basically hot enough to be able to fuse the plastic together, it releases cyanide gas, and I don't particularly fancy making myself ill with cyanide fumes. So and really super glue was the best way of actually, you know, sticking this thing together so we've got something we can actually work with. We could have possibly, like, you know, taped it and then tried using the solder to melt it, but I thought the super glue idea would be better, but I wasn't expecting it. I was looking to just perhaps a few dabs. I didn't expect it to actually glue together quite as easily as that actually has done. That's stuck together much better than I was actually expecting it to. And so there's only, once the covers are on, there's not actually going to be even that many cracks showing. My only issues are, I don't know if you can see that on the camera, obviously we've got a chip out there which I'm going to have to fill, and we've got a chip there, but again a chunk of that is actually going to be hidden when the cover's on, when the top plastic cover that fits over there is actually on. So what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to use some tape. I'm going to mask over them from this side, and then I'm going to try running some little bit of quick setting epoxy in and see if I can get them to make like a little mould doing that. And get a bit more of this insulating tape. So it doesn't have to be perfect. This is more to stop muck and grease and stuff going through that hole there. Stick that down. Get a little bit more and stick that over. Because I'm literally making like a little mould on the plastic with the insulation tape, and hopefully, like I said, we can run a little bit of epoxy into there. It'll take that shape. It won't be perfect, but it'll be a lot better than a hole. So, yeah, because we can get to the back of that there, and we can fill that with I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that? Right there, where I've got the hole. Like, so basically, I've done it on that. I've done it on that side with some insulation tape, and we should be able to fill that with a bit of epoxy. And what I will do, I'll do where we've got this piece missing from the top there as well. I'll stick a bit of insulation tape around there like that, and again, all we're going to do is just build that up with a little bit of epoxy and see how that goes. And I'm going to use a fairly quick setting epoxy for all this, and we'll just reinforce these cracks with it as well while we're in there doing it. And I've got my bag of various glues and solvents. And what have we got here? Yeah, 4-minute quick set. This stuff's ideal. I need to buy some more actually. I don't think I've got very much of it left. Well, let's cut ourselves a new Q-tip as well, because that other one's full of super glue. Right, and we'll find a bit of scrap cardboard or something to mix on. What have we got? What can we mix on? No, I don't want to mix on that. This is meant to go in the bin. Yeah. Well, it might be useful actually. Oh no, it's not. It's for the drivers, isn't it? Yeah, sorry. It's yeah, we can use that CD to mix on. Right, let's give this a go. Get some hardener out. And this stuff's 50-50, so it's an equal mix of one to the other. So that's the hardener. Let's get the actual epoxy out. There we go. A little bit more of that. That should be enough. Right. And we're going to vigorously mix them two together. You know it's good when it's all mixed together and it's all the nice uniform colour, which is like this horrible ambery colour. But again, it won't really matter because I'm probably going to respray this over the top anyway. There we go. That's the epoxy mixed, and I think we'll start Oops, it is gloopy, horrible stuff. We'll start with that gap down there where I want to fill that hole in. You can see that I'm basically just running a bit of the epoxy down into that hole like that, and that should take the shape from the other side. In fact, let's do this one at the same time. Just put a little bit in. That will take. I will have to do a little bit of filing, I think, on that one there, because there's a bit of a lip. But I'll put plenty on it, and then I can use a needle file, and I can file it back down and file it to shape. There we go. And we want to go over it as well, because obviously it's going to be a weak point. So we'll reinforce it as much as we can. And then what we've got left of this, we'll just literally, we're going to gloop it over any. Sorry about that, folks. Battery went flat on me and I didn't realise. Just shut that door. So yeah, basically you've missed. Hang on, let me get this out of the way because we don't need that. It's been about half an hour actually. It's all perfectly dry this now. Let me get that out of the way. That can go in the bin. I've used up all that epoxy. That was the last I had of them tubes. But I mean, I've been using them for about 2 years now. Actually, they've done quite well. I'll get some more. But yeah, that was, like I said, that's actually ended up being a lot easier to do than I was anticipating. Might be the neatest epoxying job, but that literally is just to reinforce it a little bit. What I thought we'd do is we'll take this tape off and we'll just see how well my little bit of moulding with the epoxy around there and what have you is gone. Let's take these pieces off first. And they were there just to pull this together while we got that to stick, and that's worked really nice. There's a bit of, left a little bit of crap on it there, but I'm not worried about that. Like I said, I may well, in fact, no, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the machine back together and I'm going to show her because she doesn't know I've done this. I've literally done it on my own back because I know she really wanted this machine back so she could use it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show it her as it is and then say to her she can have it as it is, or if she wants I'll probably have to put an etch primer on it. I'll rub this out with some very fine sandpaper, get it perfect, put an etch primer on it, and then I could respray it cream and it would look like new. Or whether she actually wants to see, you know, the repair work on it. So I'll give her that option. I will present her with it probably tomorrow, and then she can make that decision herself. But let's get this tape off. Right, and this is the moment of truth. This is where we've had to basically rebuild this card, because this is where there was pieces missing. And what we've basically done is we've used the insulation tape. Very gently peel it off, but we've used the insulation tape to basically form a bit of a mould for the epoxy to go into. Like I said, I'm not expecting it to be perfect, but it doesn't have to be. Most of this won't be seen, it's just more to keep the dust and the grime out, and we don't want a hole in the casing. Right, okay, let's have a look at this one. This is the one on top. Oh, lovely! I'll show you that one up close in a second. Let me just get the rest of the tape off. We will have to do a little bit of work down here at the bottom, but yeah, it's not as good. The bottom one there, it has left some striations in it, but it's better than a hole. But this top one's lovely. Look there. You can. I don't know. Hopefully, you can make that out. You see there? Where we've basically moulded it in with some epoxy, and you really can't tell that much, especially when the plastic's back on the top there. I'm really happy with that one. Right, Yeah, that one's filled in really nicely. All we need to do is just basically make this flat round there. I feel I'll have to do a little bit of filing there as well, just so that actually fits in it. Because we've let the epoxy go a little bit proud there, so we're just going to have to file the epoxy basically back down to flat. Still a bit high, that. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. I'm literally just I'm going crossways like that so I can judge. There we are. That's not bad, that. There we go. There we go. That's all built back up. That's nice and flat there. I suppose the last might have to just take a little rub in there. I'm begrudge taking too much off here really, because this is where we've had to reinforce it. But in fact, what I'll go and get the Kenwood Chef and I'll put it on here and we'll actually see whether this is going to fit. So bear with me and I'll be back in a second with the actual machine. Okay, I'm back and I've got the Kenwood Chef itself on the bench, and I've actually brought all the other little bits of trim that I had to take off to actually get the rest of the cowling off here. So without a moment of ado, let's see if this thing's actually going to fit on. This is the moment of truth, or am I going to have to do some more remedial work on it, on where I... Let's see. No, that fits. That actually fits together. And where I had to mould it in at this side here, it actually lines up spot on. So it's not perfect, my moulding, but it is a over 40-year-old machine. I mean, it is getting on. Right. Now this plate, I believe, has to fit on. Has that got a little cutout for it somewhere? It don't look like it. Basically, we put this plate on, get that to line up. Let's try it. There it is. That's no, can't be. See, there's a little cutout in it there. I'm not actually sure where that. I don't think it matters. There we go. So that actually lines up right. Now this piece here fits on top, and that's what locks all the plastic in place. Just that one attachment there. Let's find a Phillips screwdriver. We've got one. And we'll screw that back down. This one. And this is the moment of truth, obviously, because this will be putting a little bit of tension on the plastic, so it's going to crack. It'll be when we've tightened these screws up and got them fully home. Because that's your boss. So you can get like a blender that fits on the top of here, and that's the boss that locks onto. Which I'm pretty sure my friend doesn't actually have that attachment, so I don't think that's going to be a major issue. But that seems to be sat home. Nothing's come apart. No, in fact, all my repair work seems to have worked okay. We have the plastic cover that fits on that, so if that fits over all right, which it does just sit on, literally, and it does. And the only other thing we've got is this front cover piece, which fits over there, which is somewhere where another attachment, which I'm not entirely sure what it does, goes. And I think there should be something for there, but I don't think that ever has been there. I think that's been missing for a very long time. Let's try and get this to, there we go. You pull that lever back, that's locked in place. Look at that. So it's not perfect, but oh, I think you press that into release it. Yes, you do. But I think we can call that usable. Oh, hang on. Press it from that side. I think the locking mechanism here might be a little bit on the gummed up side, I must admit. Wonder if I can do anything. No, there we go. It is a little bit gummed up. I'll have a look at that. I'll have a look at that a little bit later. But no, I am really pleased with that. It means that she can have her mum's Kenwood Chef back actually into operational use. What I'll do actually, I'll whip you off the camera stand. I think we've probably got enough charge in the battery now to do this, and I'll do you a quick little close-up because I've got my camera in its secondary position. I haven't actually got my other stand here, so I'll whip you off the stand for a sec, and if I can get you off the stand. Come on, there we go. It's like a really crappy CCTV mount this, but it at least means I can get my my camera over my desk. Right, there we go. So let me spin you over. Oops, no, I haven't disconnected you. There we go. Spin you over, and you can actually. Oops, there we go. That's better. You can have a proper look. Like I said, we can just see now the crack there, but it's not going to break. Again, across the top there, that's just a little bit that's come off my desk. I'll be able to scrape that off, so that won't be as bad. And then we've got a crack there and a crack there, and then if we have a look on top, we can see we've got the crack running along there. But these are solid now. They're not going to. I don't think they're going to fail again. Not unless you drop something on the top of it. And then let's just turn it round and have a quick look. As you can see, it didn't go quite to plan that because we've got a few striations in there, but it's solid. You know, there's not a hole. And again, if we lift the lid off, that's the top piece where we have that hole. Like I said, it's not the right colour, but at least it's solid. It's actually perfectly lined. The mould's actually lined up perfectly on that one. That one went really well. That one, like I said, we've got some ripples in the tape at the end, and that's sadly left a few striations, but I could smooth that out. So that's the options. That's basically the option I'm going to give her when I present her with this. I'll say you can have it as it is now, or I can, you know, do some filling, some smoothing on this, and then put an etch primer on it and actually spray it back to the original colour, which is that, because this is just yellowing through actual age. Right, I'm going to go now because my camera actually just started flashing with the battery. Obviously the battery is not quite as fresh as I thought it was. Anyway, like I said, I hope you enjoyed that slightly strange little video on me